What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shay Renee, and today we're going to talk about episode 9 and 10 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? All right, y'all. So before we get into the foolishness that's happening in Orange County, I want to talk about holisticthings.com. Holisticthings.com is the sponsor for my channel, and tonight I will be drinking that good old pineapple ginger lemonade juice that they make. I drink it. I'm a step instructor. I drink some after every class. It helps to relieve your joints. If you're feeling a little tickle in your throat and you think that something about to come on over you, this juice is going to clear it right up. So wanted to get into that. Make sure you guys visit holisticthings.com. Okay, visit their website. They have juice, they have sea moss gel, everything you need that's going to heal your body holistically. Okay, I love the play on words. So let's get into it, y'all. All right, so episode 9 starts off with Noella acting self-absorbed over her giving Heather's daughter that inappropriate card game. Okay, Gina leaves and says, I cared about you and I can't care anymore. First of all, I don't know about y'all, but I'm about over Miss Broke Gina. I'm so sick of her. Like, if her nose could go any far further up Heather's ass, she would be having a colonoscopy. I don't understand why Gina is, well, I know why she up Heather's ass, but I don't know why she cares so much about what Noella is doing. Now, Noella is annoying. She really is. And we're going to get into that because she takes it too damn far. She really does. But we'll get into that. So Emily tells Noella she should listen to Heather and hear where she is coming from. And Noella tells her to go check on Gina as if, basically telling her to scram. Why don't you just go check on Gina? Like, that's how she said it. I'm like, Noella, bitch, who are you dismissing? If anything, you can get back on your commercial flight and get the hell out of here because they didn't want your ass here anyway. So you come in here and you starting shit. This is not, it's not looking good for you, sis. It's really not. So moving right along, Emily goes to the room. Gina's upset and drunk, crying and carrying on. And she's all upset over Noella's behavior, which I don't understand why Noella's behavior is making people that crazy. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I keep on forgetting to hook this daggone mic up. I know y'all probably like every time this girl comes on here, she's like, hold on, y'all. Let me hook the mic up. I'm about to make myself a damn checklist at this point. All right, here we go. So Shannon, of course, comes to kind of break up the drama. She comes outside with Noella and Dr. Jen, because Dr. Jen is still at the table too. And she starts making drinks and really just trying to lighten the moment and the mood. Then Emily ends up coming back because she forgot a damn purse. So she sits down. I'm like, if you forgot your purse, why you ain't get your purse and go back and do what you was doing? She sits down and starts talking. So they all end up talking and whatnot. Shannon comes over to lighten the mood. As Emily sits down, for some reason, she ends up falling back in the damn chair and showing her ass, literally. And they start laughing, playing with the pinata. All is well and all's good in the hood. It ends on a good note. So back in LA, Jen takes her daughter to get her toes done, and they talk about school and her daughter's independence. Then they talk about the nanny, and the daughter says Caitlin is like a mother, and she's a great mother for the boys, and she giggles. I'm like, Jen, you might want to spend some more time with your children because they calling the nanny their mama. That ain't a good look, sis. You need to, I get it. You going and getting pedicures with your daughter and stuff. That's cute. But you need to spend more time with your children because if they calling the nanny mama, that's a problem. And she already pregnant. Whatever. Anyway, in the next scene, Heather and Gina have lunch and they talk about their kids and Heather's kids looking at colleges in Syracuse, New York. They talk about them both being from New York, and then Heather ends up asking Gina to come to New York. And then they talk about Cabo. And Gina says she was stressed about Noella because she felt like Noella questioned her integrity with the whole situation of her having to beg Heather to invite her. She says she can't support someone that doesn't trust her. Well, bitch, you did. You did beg her to ask her to for her to come. Gina, listen. You got to stop being such a liar. That's what it is. Like, you're trying to make stuff seem like it's not what it really is. You begged Heather to ask no to let Noella come. You did. You did that. You did that shit. So why are you mad at her again? You mad that you got found out. You need to be mad at your girl Emily for snitching on you. That's who you need to be mad at. But Emily is just the person trying to keep the drama going this season, because it seems like she's the neighborhood shit stirrer. Because she the one bringing up all the drama in every situation, it seems like. And it don't matter at whose expense it is, okay? So in the next scene, Shannon and John host an event on John's boat with Heather, and Terry, Emily, and Shane. So Shannon grew up on boats, so her and John have that in common. And Shannon is she's standing on the side of the boat like it's a scene from Titanic. I'm like, Lord have mercy, Shannon. If you don't get your ass and sit down regular in this boat. So they riding on the boat, they having a good old time, and then they get back to John's house. And John talks about a tumultuous relationship that he had with his father, where his father actually wanted him to change his damn name because he was named after his dad. So the dad had another kid. Apparently, his papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat or his dick was his home. Okay, because he got a lot of brothers and sisters. Okay, so there was another brother that the father decided to name John as well. Okay, so but he wanted the original John, which is Shannon's John, and change his damn name because he didn't want him to have his name. I'm like, well, what in the hell? Wow. Were you not there when the mother named him this? And why do he hate you this much? This is crazy. But Shannon was like, John is like the perfect kid. He was like the perfect kid. And I'm like, Shannon, you weren't there. You don't know. He probably caused him some problems when he was growing up. Who knows? But who knows? I mean, it don't sound like John's father was in his life very much. So for him to be wanting him to change his name and whatnot, it's a little crazy. So everybody else joins in telling their different stories about their childhood. Terry talks about how his stepfather was terrible to him as well. Then he feels he became successful because he was driven by the adversity coming from his stepdad. And Emily said her dad wasn't around much, and he left when she was 6, even though now they have a good relationship. She says she strives to do well in school to gain approval. She strives to do well in school so she could gain approval from everybody. And sometimes she finds herself, even as an adult, doing things just to gain approval from everybody around her. And I think that that's kind of sad. Emily should feel like she can be herself instead of having to constantly try to gain approval from people. So anyway, moving right along, Shannon, Emily, and Noella have lunch, and Noella says the last night in Cabo was a lot. And she said Gina doesn't respond to her calls. Well, Noella, you're annoying. I mean, I can see that already. And Gina just over your shit. Like, she don't, and Gina also, she don't have time to be your friend because she's too busy sucking Heather's left butt cheek. Okay, so she's done with you because Heather don't like you. So now that friendship, you could just chop it up. It's over. So Emily asked Noella what a stack of vaginas means, because apparently that's what Noella gave her husband for their wedding gift or whatever. So she had a picture of it in her phone and she showed them. And I was like, okay, that's what you're doing? Wow. Um so Noella was like, so Shannon asked, well, how did you know about that? And does that bother you that was brought up in conversation, like asking Noella that? And Noella was like, I got upset because she thinks Noella got upset because she thinks Jen is talking about that because she doesn't want to talk about her own life. So basically, Jen was the one that told them about the stack of vaginas. But I don't think Jen was trying to be, vindictive or whatever. And in her confessional, Jen has said she never asked Noella about it. She volunteered the info to her. So Noella was the one that told Jen about it. So if Jen is saying something, it's because you offered the information up to her rather freely. So moving right along, Jen and Heather meet, and Heather brings over a pineapple and makes them drinks at Jen's house with with the ice from her house as well. First of all, how far do y'all live apart? Because for Heather to come over there with a whole bag of damn ice with a special cut from her house, I don't know how that ice didn't melt. I don't know, but that must have been some special damn ice. So anyway, they go outside and sit down and they start talking about her marriage or whatever. And she says basically Jen is talking about her issues with Ryan. She feels like she gets upset, he gets upset with her when she needs more attention and appreciation, and he can't seem to muster up the energy to do it with all he has to do. And Heather tells Jen she has to be willing to work as hard for her relationship as she does for her career. And she also tells her she needs to prioritize her family over the money and make sure she isn't ignoring her relationship. Let me tell you about Jen. Jen is annoying. That's what Jen is. Jen is very overly emotional about shit, and she doesn't tell Ryan how she feels. She thinks that he's supposed to read her damn mind. She thinks, well, when I blink like this, that means you supposed to rub my back and give me a massage. No, bitch, no, it don't. If you want a massage or you want me to rub your back, tell me that that's what you want me to do. Because all this mind reader shit that you think I'm supposed to do, it don't make no sense. Like the stuff that the expectations that Jen has for her husband are ridiculous. This man is taking care of your children all day, and he's also running a luxury, business or whatever, luxury vacation business. So he has a business as well, just like you. Now, I'm not comparing the two because obviously you're a freaking doctor, but you got to stop making excuses because it's like you're jealous that he gets to work and spend time with the kids. You're not willing to make the time to spend time with the kids and spend time with your husband. Maybe get to know what makes your husband tick as well, instead of thinking because you're the breadwinner that everybody just need to bow down bitches to you. That's not how it works in a relationship. Both of y'all need to be putting the work in. So I'm glad that Heather told her that, because Heather, she experienced that in her relationship with Terry as well. So I think that she's probably the best one to have some insight on that. So moving right along, in the next scene, Emily has a game night at her house and invites Gina, Noella, and Shannon. They play games, then Gina, Noella, and Emily reenact the stack of vaginas. I'm like, oh my God, Lord have mercy. Y'all are too drunk and too pilled for this. Like, this is a mess. So then Gina tells Noella that Noella finally talks to Gina and is like, why have you been giving me the cold shoulder? Like, you've been really sad, like not talking to me or whatever. And so Gina tells Noella that she hurt her feelings because she felt she didn't trust her, and she felt Heather is allowed to tell her that her gift was inappropriate. And Noella says she felt Gina betrayed her. And Gina said she wants off in her confessional, she was like, I want off the crazy train. So she tells Noella to her face, maybe they should take a step back and allow their friendship to progress naturally. First of all, Gina, just tell Noella that you ain't fooling with her no more. Don't talk about she's like, oh, in the moment she was like, oh, I just feel like our friendship happened just so fast. No, you was being nosy and all in her business about her divorce. And when you found out it wasn't as interesting as you thought it was, and it wasn't going to really help your storyline for the season, and she started pissing Heather off, which is your storyline now, and you want to be her bestie because she has money, you decided that Noella was of no longer of service. You didn't need her services anymore. So now you don't want to deal with her, and she is fucking annoying. So that is what it is. Just call a spade, okay? So in the next scene, this was dreadful. If I was Ryan, I would have walked the hell out too, because Jen does the most, okay? I don't know if she's going through menopause of her hormones from all the Botox is just all over the place. I don't know. But in this last scene of episode 9, Jen and Ryan have a conversation, and she asks how his day was. He talks about the first day of school, how the kids are doing well, and he asks how was her day. And she says she hasn't gotten a lot of sleep and she's emotional because her job isn't easy. Okay. Everybody got to work. Everybody got some shit with them. Okay. So she said, what I really want is for you to tell me I did a good job and be proud of me. Girl, so you think that from you saying your job is hard, that was supposed to prompt him to juggle your titties and tell you how great you are? Girl, get it together. you doing a whole let me go on, God, y'all, because she annoys the hell out of my spirit. So she wants him to understand it and validate. She wants him to understand her and validate her because she doesn't think he really means it when he says that, she does a good job and he's proud of her. Because he did say, he's like, yeah, you do a great job, and I am really proud of you. And she says, well, I don't really feel like you mean it. Like, I want you to say it like you really mean it. Bitch, he fucking said it. What do you want him to do? It Now this is the crazy train right here. She got some issues and she needs to go sit on somebody's couch because this is borderline ridiculous. So it continues. So she wants him to she Ryan tries to validate her and she keeps pulling for more attention, being very needy. He ends up saying he doesn't want to talk about it and he just doesn't want to do it right now. And that's the final answer. And he's going to take a break. That's what he told her. He was like, this is my final answer. I'm just going to take a break. Yeah, I'm just going to take a break. I'm just going to get out of here. I'm going to go ahead. And if you keep on going, because she's like, but wait, but I want to talk about it. And I think it's also hard for him because this is his first season with cameras all around his house. So he's having issues with his wife and her being emotional. He probably embarrassed that she's acting like this. And then they're on TV, you're having problems. Like, he's probably like, I don't know what the hell to say to you. Like, you trying to make me look like a bad guy on TV. And I don't like it, but I don't want to embarrass you on camera the way that you're trying to embarrass me. So I would just get up and walk up out of here. And she's like, well, we can't just do this. You can't just walk away. Like, we have to talk about it. And she's following him into the bedroom. He's like, if you keep following me, I'm going to leave. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to leave. And he was very like calm about it. And she just kept on being hysterical. And he's just like, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to go now. So him and the dog, they walk on out the damn house, child. He ain't had no keys, no nothing. It was just him and the dog, and he just walking down the street. He's like, I would rather walk down this street and be susceptible to getting hit by a car than to be in this house listening to your emotional bullshit. And that was the end of episode 9. So episode 10 titled Edible Arrangements, Child, which was appropriately titled, by the way. Heather and her family go to dinner. They discuss the kids growing up, going to school. Coco's the youngest, and she went to go visit USC. And then Max says, yeah, you definitely should go to USC. It's for the youngest kid because USC stands for something about the spoiled child, University of Spoiled Children, or something like that. And Heather also talks about Kat being in middle school and her and Max having disagreements all the time. So apparently the middle child, which is Kat, and Max, she's one of the twins, always go back and forth. And it seems like they're having like some little spat about like Kat doesn't agree with how everybody like immediately at school and in their surroundings immediately embraced Max when she came out. Max wrote this book and all this stuff, but I think Kat came out first and her family embraced her, but she didn't get that open well wishes at school or whatever. Here's my thing with the girls and the coming out thing. I get it. If you truly feel like this is how you feel, great. But I remember when I was in high school, we used to call them GTG, gay till graduation. They didn't really know what they wanted to do. They just wanted to do it because it was a fad and everybody around them was saying this is how they want to live their life. Now, I don't know if that's the case with these girls or not, but it just seems like now it's just a cool thing to do. And I just really hope that they're not playing around with this. Like, again, your sexuality is your sexuality. You can do what you want or whatever. But if you're just doing it for attention, that's I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like that's what they're doing with this. I don't think that I feel like most people, you're not going to know until you have to be intimate with somebody. When you got to put your face down in the first box, we'll know if you really like it like that then. Okay? That's way more than just wanting to get, you got to want to do the whole thing. Not, oh, I really love my best friend. No. Okay? So I just feel like they're too young to really, especially Kat. You focusing on school and doing all these things. I just feel like it's just too early for you to really know what your sexuality is, or whatever the case may be. But I may be wrong. If that's how she wants, if she really knows that that's what she wants to do, by all means, go right ahead. But I just feel like, don't just make it like a fad. That's all. But anyway, moving right along. But I will say this. I so love how Heather supports both of her kids. Like, she really is a loving mom. And I just think she's an excellent mother. Like, she really is. She caters to her children. And I love how they are willing to come and talk to her and open up to her about things, because that's something really hard. Like, if that's really your lifestyle or whatever, it's not easy to come out and, really admit what your sexuality is sometimes, because some people aren't as comfortable initially talking about it because of what they think society is going to feel. But now it's way more acceptable than it was maybe 10 years ago. So if you're coming out, be yourself. It shouldn't be, I don't think it's a big issue nowadays anyway. So moving right along, Noella meets with Emily to get a pedicure, and Noella starts talking about herself again. And Emily noticeably gets annoyed and says that maybe sometimes she should look at the situation and realize what she did, and not always point the finger at everybody else. And Noella feels like they are always attacking her, and she fights back when she is attacked. Emily says in her confessional, Noella can be suffocating because she talks about herself a lot and her divorce, and every conversation always revolves around her. And Noella feels like the women should give her grace when they see she is not okay. First of all, Noella, you never okay. I don't like, you're very dramatic, and you just, everything is about you and your divorce. It's like, girl, come with something else, because everybody on this cast, then shit, two people on the cast is divorced. And everybody on this cast has had a run-in with thinking about divorce at this point. So cry me a river at this point. Like, either you are going to share what led up to this, because that man did not just wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I'm gonna divorce this hoe. No, there was some stuff that must have made this happen over time. Not saying it's your fault, but we as women see the signs, whether we want to admit it or not. We see the signs. So in the next scene, Shannon has the ladies over for lunch at her house, and she's cooking all this food and telling the waiter what to do with this, that, and the other. And the waiter just looks so uninterested in what the hell Shannon's talking about. He's just like, okay, all right. Put some peanut sauce on what? Oh, okay, whatever. So then Shannon goes upstairs to get dressed. She sees a little wrinkle in her shirt, child. She takes a heated iron with the shirt that she got on her body and starts ironing the shirt on her body. So Gina comes in and says, girl, what the hell are you doing? You go burn yourself. And she's like, oh, it's going to be okay. Then Noella comes in the house, and then Heather and Jen are in a car on their way there. And Jen gets in the car all emotional because Heather asks her, how's she doing? She says, well, Ryan packed his bags and left. And she's like, you know what? I just want to get a divorce. At this point, I don't want to ever feel like this again. And I'm like, Jen, you ain't even gone to counseling, nothing. Like, marriage is, you know what? Marriage ain't for the weak, okay? It's really not. Marriage and parenting is not for the weak at heart. You can't just at the first sign of adversity be ready to just duck off. It's marriage. Hello. People have bad days. Hell, people have bad damn weeks. Just like Heather said, you might have a bad year. But your perseverance in marriage is what makes it so much sweeter. Having a person that you can go through things with and get through them, that's an amazing thing to have somebody like that on your side. If you just willing to leave out at any sign of adversity, you don't need to be married in the first place. And I think the same thing about people that have children. As soon as the kid get on your nerves, you can't get rid of them. So you need to think of the same thing with your marriage, especially if it's something like, oh, he packed his bags and left. Okay, but why did he pack his bags and leave? Did you talk to him and ask him how he feels about how fucking annoying you are? Yeah, you're annoying, Jen. Okay? You really are. You annoy me through the screen, ma'am. So anyway, Jen is upset, and she feels like he's being inattentive and dismissive, and All this, that, and the third, same old shit she's been complaining about. And she doesn't want to feel like this anymore, so she just wants it to end. And Heather tells her this is marriage. It's not easy. You're going to go through things and you just need to do the work to get through it. Basically, like, girl, cry me a river, dick face. Get through this. This is not that deep. You doing too much. I think that's what Heather really want to say. So Heather gives Shannon some edibles, and oh, wait a minute. I think I done skipped some parts. So, oh yeah, she gives them to her as a gift. But when she ate the edibles, it was hilarious. But we'll get into that. So Heather and Jen come in the house. They're the last to arrive, and she gives Shannon a gift of edibles, and she teaches Shannon how to microdose to help her take the edge off, since she's always kind of like really hypersensitive all the time. And they asked Jen, the group asked Jen, how are you? And, how's everything going? She says, Heather jumps in and says, yeah, tell them about the kids or whatever, like trying to save her from having to talk about Ryan or whatever if she didn't want to. And basically letting her know, girl, I got your back. If you don't want to talk about your relationship, I'll piggyback off of the kid situation. So Jen was like, oh yeah, Heather, yeah, the kids, they're doing good. But yeah, Ryan, he packed his bags and left or whatever. So she just went diving right on in, telling her business, telling them the same thing she just told Heather in the damn car on the way here. So Heather was like, well, damn, I didn't think she wanted anybody to know, but okay, whatever. If you like it, I love it. So then everyone begins to talk with her and encourage her to get therapy. And Emily says her and Shane wrote out a mission statement for their marriage, and that really helped them. So they live by this mission statement. They talk about it, and that has really helped their marriage, because their marriage was actually going through the shits on TV. I think it was last season or the season before that. So move right along. Everybody sits down to dinner, and everyone continues to provide Jen with tools and examples of their marriage to help her. And then Noella chimes in and says, was there a prenup? Girl, why would you ask this lady that? That ain't none of your damn business. First of all, you need to be worrying about how to get the block off your credit cards. That's what you need to be worrying about. Not worrying about if somebody else got a damn prenup. So Emily says that's not helpful. And then Noella says, well, she needs to be advised that he may be, undergoing he may be being counseled. And Jen says Ryan comes across cool and collected, but he is the most dramatic person she ever met. No, Jen, I think you're the dramatic one, because you do the most. Okay. When I saw you on that treadmill or the elliptical, whatever you was on doing the most, thinking that he was supposed to coddle you through the phone, baby girl, while you was in Cabo, I knew you do the most right then and there. So then Noella starts talking about James and her divorce and how it happened 6 weeks ago. And Emily cuts her off and says, you keep saying that. And then Emily says, how was your marriage such a big stressor? Because he filed for divorce. And Noella says, what am I not allowed? Why am I not allowed to talk about my divorce? And Emily yells and says, it's all you talk about. And then Emily says she feels Noella is very defensive about her divorce, but never answers questions about it. But here's the thing, Emily, you asked her, why is her marriage a big stressor? I mean, her marriage ending a big stressor. I don't think that was a really good question. Maybe you meant to say, why is it that she's so blindsided about her marriage ending if she was so stressed out initially? Because Noella made the comment saying that she didn't talk about it when they all first met, but there was some stress on their marriage and they were going through some hard times. And here's my thing, Noella, you keep talking about your divorce and stuff, and you kept saying that you were blindsided by the divorce, but now you want to say that y'all were going through stuff. So was it perfect or was it not? Were you blind or can you see? I don't understand what's going on. It's sounding real shifty. Okay. What the hell was going on in that house? And what were you with him for? Just for his money? Like, I don't get it. And if you were as childish with him as you are with this group of ladies, I can understand why the hell he chucked the deuces on your ass. So anyway, the next thing, everyone gets up from the table because they annoyed with Noella's ass too. And Emily tells Jen she feels like Noella is monopolizing the conversation all the time. And Shannon tells Heather she was like, I just want to move on. Can we just go eat cookies? Because it was dessert time. And then she says, no. Let's time to microdose. So Shannon says that to Heather. So they go grab some of the chocolates that Heather gave her. And Heather was like, oh my God, we're doing things that are so illegal. I'm like a drug dealer. And then she says, oh wait, it is legal. And she sits down. And I was like, Heather is so cute though. Like she gets on my nerves sometimes with how pretentious she is. But I really think that she really is a cool person and she has the best intentions with people. But she do got that mean girl streak. Like if she don't like your ass, she can be a little shady. So then they all sit down. Heather takes a bite. Um, then Shannon takes a bite, and then they give the rest to Emily. And Jen decides that she's not going to partake in the marijuana. Okay. So then everybody goes back to before they go back to the table. Shannon and Heather are and Shannon and Emily are like dancing around and dropping it low. And 10 minutes, because 10 minutes later they high as hell. And then they end up going back to the table. And Noella says to Emily, I just don't want things to be weird. Like, I really adore you. Like, and Noella does this thing where she tries to like smooth shit over after she say fucked up stuff and be like, oh, girl, I just like really love you. And I just want to let's just be friends. Let's get over it. No, girl, you pissed me off. You're not going to time my anger with you. I'm still mad at you. And Emily was like, it don't have to be weird. But when I ask you a question, I'd like some answers, chick. Because you always talking, but you're not saying nothing. So I'm asking you questions, but you don't seem to give anybody any answers to the questions that we want answers to. So she still ain't got nothing to say. Noella still ain't got nothing to say. She turns around still with attitude. And so I guess they back on, not dealing with each other in this moment. So then Jen thanks Shannon for hosting lunch because it made her feel better. And that was the end of that. So in the next scene, Emily and Gina meet to take the kids to play, and they talk about the lunch. And Gina says she thinks Shannon is jealous of her, and she thinks she's jealous that Heather was complimenting her new skincare line she created. First of all, Gina, no the fuck she's not. Nobody's jealous of you. Nobody is jealous of you and your tiny house and your BS. Nobody cares about you, Gina. Shannon has her own money. She has several businesses, okay? And she's doing it all on her own. You finally got a little business, and you know what? I'm not gonna say little business because I hate if somebody say that about my business. You finally got a business and got something going for yourself. Kudos to you. But why does it seem like, and you got all all happy when you thought that she was jealous of you? Why does it make you feel good to put down somebody else? Or you feel better about yourself because you think somebody hating on you. That woman ain't hating, bit more hating on you than the man in the moon. Girl, get the fuck out of here. Nobody's thinking about you. And you think that she's jealous of your relationship with Heather? She's known Heather for years, way before you. And hello, she don't have to kiss Heather's ass because she got money. Because she got her own damn money. So what the hell are you talking about? Shannon is jealous of you. Girl, bye. And then that scene that they played where Shannon was supposed to be jealous of her with the way she responded, the bitch was high. She was high as a kite. She wasn't looking jealous. She was looking high. Responding like a person that is off the marijuana. So what are you talking about? Gina irks my last nerve. So moving right along, Heather is planting things with her daughter, Kat. They talk about someone online bullying her about her lesbian flag that she had in the back of her TikTok. And she said that the comments that the person made embarrassed her. So she wanted to get rid of her flag. And I love how Heather was like, you know what? F them. Don't change your room around because of somebody in their negative comments on the internet. And I appreciate that because you can't now it's unfortunate that the kids are in the public eye because their parents have such a large platform, but that doesn't give people the right to say nasty things to them. If that's her lifestyle and that's what she wants to do, this is 2022. Everybody is living out loud. So why is it that you're targeting a child and making fun of them? And furthermore, it's so many kids in school that, this is their lifestyle now. Why are you bullying somebody because of that and making comments? Like, it's unbelievable that somebody would even take the time to go on her page and make that comment. And I really feel bad that she is feeling so affected by it that she wants to change the whole design of her and decor of her room. But I'm so happy that Heather is so supportive of her. And she's basically like, no, we're not changing nothing. Matter of fact, you want a bigger flag? Like, what you want to do? And who was this? Heather was basically like, who was it? Who is them, ho? I'm gonna go get them for you. Like, being putting on the mama bear hat and taking care of her kids. And I love seeing Heather in that element with her kids. But Kat, keep your flag, girl. Do what you want to do, and don't be worrying about these internet bullies because they ain't got nothing behind that keyboard. Okay. So in the last scene, Jen, Emily, and Shannon go to dinner, and Jen talks about her marriage and says they're okay for right now, because they fell asleep holding hands and whatnot on the couch after watching a movie or something like that. But they never had a full-on conversation about him walking out. And so Jen says she feels like they have been hit with a lot of things, to his defense. In their marriage, they've been hit with a lot of things. They had the lawsuit in the beginning. Her father passed away. She really wanted to have a family really bad. So it's kind of like their relationship progressed faster than it probably should have, because she really, like, Jen is like a check mark type of person. Okay, she seems like the type that's like, oh, I want to be married by this age, so let me hurry up and do it. And oh yeah, I need to have kids by this age, so let me do it. I excelled in school, so I deserve to do this and that and the third. So she's, basically like, she knows that there's some issues and they need to deal with them. So Shannon asks if either of them has talked to any of the other ladies, after they talk about Jen's issues. And Emily said, yeah, actually I talked to Gina, and Gina said, she thinks that you're jealous of her skincare line and her relationship with Heather. So Shannon says, I have a lot of my own businesses. I have, skincare is like one of my 10 businesses. I have so much on my plate. I don't have time to be worrying about Gina and what the hell she's doing. And Gina was like, yeah, because, she's going to New York with Gina's going to New York with Heather and stuff. So, she kind of just felt like you were just jealous of their relationship. And Shannon was like, let me stop you right here. If Heather even asked me to go to New York, I'd have been like, hell no, I got too much shit to do. I ain't got time to be going to New York with you and frolicking in the land of Galilee. No, I got shit to do. I told you I got all these businesses, my kids in school. My priority is my children and making enough money to make sure I can pay for these twins to go to college. That's basically what's all on Shannon's mind right now. She ain't thinking about Gina broke ass. Gina, go sit the hell down some damn where and sell some skincare so you can have as much money as these bitches on this show and you can deserve your spot here. Because right about now, you giving broke bitch behavior, thinking somebody jealous of you. What do you have that anybody would be jealous of, sis? I tell you what, people get their hair colored correctly and lose some pounds and now they the shit. Girl, get the fuck out of here. You are full of shit. Like, you really on yourself, because you look like a train wreck last season. Now that you look halfway decent, now everybody jealous of you. Get the fuck on. I'm so sick of Gina. So then, so she says Shannon says Gina's ego needs to put a pin in it. And she isn't thinking of Gina all the time. She feels like, and then she says Emily is just stirring the pot all the time. And furthermore, if Shannon has any feelings towards Gina, she's probably pissed because she tried to build a relationship with her and Emily, and the first sign of deception, she did it against Shannon by going back in the first or second episode telling Heather what Shannon has said about Nicole Leese suing her husband. You didn't have no loyalty to Shannon whatsoever, and you went and ran your damn mouth at the first sign you could, after all the things that Shannon had done for you, helping you find lawyers, paying for shit and all this, that, and the third, helping you through your DUI shit. You never win when you play dirty, like Nene said. So, ma'am, no, Shannon is not jealous of you, but she keeping her eye on your ass because you're not trustworthy. That's what Shannon's doing. Because Shannon also wants to secure her spot on this show. But she's trying to do it without having to be close to you. Okay? So let's make that very clear. You are trash and trifling. Ain't nobody jealous of you on this show, sis. They not. I'm not even jealous of you. Okay? And you probably got more money than me. But anyway, moving right along. Thank you guys for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that watches this show too. And be sure to visit healisticthings.com and get your pineapple ginger lemon juice and your sea moss gels. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.